such disrespect
Point of order.
by a minister
Point of order.
for the procedures
Point of
here
order.
at committee.
Well, I can tell you we've had people parked outside of my house for 6 weeks with threatening vehicle.
Welcome back to Moose on the Loose. My name's David. Today we've got Randy Balsanout in the hot seat. He's getting questioned with he has a PPE company that provides a protective wear, and he was a big proponent of using this during the pandemic, thus he would make money from it. Now he's denying, oh, I don't have anything to do with that. Oh, no, I'm only 50% owner. Oh, it's through another corporation that's numbered. He hid his corporation with a number. He got caught now. He's not supposed to be doing this. This goes against the rules.
So we have text messages implicating you, sir, in this wire fraud, and it was carried out by your business partner to the tune of hundreds of thousands of dollars.
It's recently found there a correspondence with someone named Randy, but he claims it's not him. No, it's not him. It's a different Randy, but they don't know who this Randy is.
The NDP Liberal minister from Edmonton wants Canadians to think that he's not breaking the law, but he was cashing checks from a company that was lobbying his government, and a company that he owns 50% of was winning government contracts using his name as a minister. He's not allowed to do either. Now, in a Global News report this week, text messages reveal someone named Randy at his company was part of a $500,000 fraud. The minister said it wasn't him, it was the other Randy. Of course it was. So, who is the other Randy, and what's his last name?
Yeah, So Randy is sitting here. He's just off screen here. He's not going to stand up and answer the questions. They keep putting McKinnon up there to take the blow.
I just have to be careful in using the proper names of individuals in the chamber. The Honourable Government House Leader.
Speaker, I, of course, just answered that question, so I would invite the member to move on.
Ooh.
The Honourable Member for Leeds, Grenville, Thousand Islands, Rideau Lakes.
Well, Speaker, we have the same suspicion as the Speaker does that, in fact, there is perhaps some concern about using the member's name. But, well, the Government House Leader wants to hide his member. We're just going to run through a scenario here. What are the chances that the other Randy is just the minister from Edmonton in a rubber nose and a stick-on mustache? I'd say about 100%. Broke the Conflict of Interest Act, broke the Lobbying Act, broke the Criminal Code. We want to know, will the real Randy please stand up?
Monsieur le Président, bien sûr que...
So Randy Balsanout was questioned about this in committee.
Not only have you been disrespectful, you are exhibiting traits in my old career that I would classify as a lying witness. You've been evasive.
That's not appropriate, Mr. Chair.
Well, it is.
That's not parliamentary language.
I would suggest, Mr. Brock, that you not use that language.
You've got the inability to tell the straight facts and to tell the straight goods, Minister. There lacks the ring of truth in what you have to say.
Go ahead on your point of order, Mr.
Point of order,
McKinnon.
Mr. Brock's language is definitely unparliamentary. He needs to withdraw it, and he needs to apologize.
I'm not withdrawing, Chair.
No, he used a different context. I'm going to allow him to do it. I'm going to ask him to continue. You've got a couple minutes, Mr. Brock. Go ahead.
Sorry, on the same point of order.
Go ahead, Ms. Damoff, on the same point of order.
I've heard in the House many times the Speaker say that you can't say indirectly what you, that you can't say directly, and that is exactly what Mr. Brock
These people are not acting in Canadians' best interest.
has done, and we cannot call each other liars or providing untruths to Parliament.
I appreciate that.
And Canadians are watching. They take particular attention every time a minister appears at committee. And what you've done, sir, is just displayed a complete lack of respect for policies and procedures at this committee, leaving aside the evasiveness of your responses and clearly the lack of ring of truth, as I've indicated. So on the issue of what was reported this morning in the global news, did you take it upon yourself to reach out to your former partner and ask for clarification as to who this other Randy was?
So, Mr. Brock, on that particular point,
yes or no, sir? Did you reach? I've got 3 minutes.
I have seconds to
sir,
respond to
Mr. Chair. I
point of order, Mr. Brock. Just allow the minister to respond to the question.
I have no operational role in that company. I am not the Randy in the article today. And let me give you an example, Mr. Chair. I don't know why Mr. Brock received income from the province of Ontario while he's been serving as an MP, but I assume that he cleared that with the Ethics Commissioner in the same way that I cleared my business dealings with the Ethics Commissioner, and no.
Oh, he's trying some nasty counterattack here.
No investigation or evaluation of my business affairs.
Mr. Brock, go ahead.
Just a point of order, Mr. Chair. The question that Mr. Brock asked was well over a minute, and the response was 25
There
seconds.
was a preamble, there was a question, yes or no. So I'll ask again, Minister.
Go ahead, Mr. Brock,
you're laughing at the whole process, but Canadians are not laughing at you, and they're not siding with you. Did you reach out to Mr. Anderson this morning after you read the Global News report, yes or no?
I am not the Randy in that report.
Did you call Mr. Anderson?
No, why would I call Mr. Anderson? I did not know.
Clearly, Mr. Anderson didn't want to provide the surname of Randy.
Mr. Brock, the answer, he said
gave
no.
the answer.
He said no.
Chair,
Are you on a point of order?
Yes,
Mr.
I am,
Go
Chair. Out of respect for our interpreters, and this keeps
Out of respect for Canadians, stop doing these point of orders, loser liberals.
happening, people are interrupting.
I agree.
And it's so unfair to the people that work so hard for us.
Thank
so
you.
if you could please just knock it off.
I've made that.
Knock it off. Oof. Those point orders coming from Pam Damoff here, Liberal, for Oakville, North Burlington. If you don't like how she continually interrupts with her point of orders, you can contact her with her contact information right here, along with all the other MPs. Their phone numbers, their emails, they're all right here for Canadians to voice their opinion to.
Will you provide to this committee details of your text messages for all the phones that were in operation on September the 22nd, 2022, so that this committee can determine if you are in fact the Randy that the text messages are referring to, the Randy that the other partner wants to communicate with? Will you reach out to your service provider and provide us with details of your text messages on that day for all your devices?
Minister,
yes or no?
quick response, Minister, please.
Mr. Chair, I have no operational role in this company. I do not know who this Randy is. It is not me, and it's clear in the article that it's not me.
Thank you, sir.
That did not answer the question.
Who's Randy? The Minister of Employment has a 50% stake in a PPE company embroiled in allegations of fraud. Text messages from the COO reveal that a partner named Randy was involved in one of those shady business deals. The minister assures us it's not him, yet somehow he's unable to identify who the other Randy is amongst a handful of employees. So again, who's Randy?
This is ridiculous.
The Honourable Government House Leader.
Mr. Speaker, of course, Canada has among the toughest, most stringent ethics and conflict of interest provisions in the world for public office holders.
That is a load of crap. So we've got another clip here from this same committee.
I want to ask you a personal question, Minister Boissonnault. When the Conservatives go on these witch hunts and say things like you're corrupt, or call you disgusting, or say that you're part of a corrupt government, what impact does that have on you and your family?
Well, I can tell you we've had people parked outside of my house for 6 weeks with a threatening vehicle that switches out every 3 to 4 days to comply with the bylaws.
What's a threatening vehicle? Is he armed with spikes and
that whatever Pierre Poilievre says in the House of Commons gets written all over those windows. And my partner didn't sign up for that, and neither did anybody on my block. And it comes directly from the anger and the fear that the Conservative Party is spreading in this country. And I can.
No, it's not. It comes from you guys breaking our country and breaking Canadians' backs. You fools. Like, we're not stupid. We know what you're trying to do here. Flip it around like some sort of pathetic sob story. Just stop with this crap.
I tell you, Ms. Damoff, it breaks my heart that you have made the choice that you have made to no longer serve your community and our country, because you are a phenomenal parliamentarian and an amazing parliamentary secretary. And when truth and reason and facts leave this place, it damages democracy and the
Oh, that is so rich. Coming from the Liberals, please.
Decisions made by people around this table have life-altering consequences for people who do not put their name on a ballot. And I do not think that everybody around this table treats Canadians with the respect and care that they should when they become a member of Parliament.
Yeah, it's all the ones in red, like you and Pam.
Do you think Canadians expect more of members of Parliament? There's only 338 of it here. I consider it a great privilege to be serving the constituents of Oakville, North Burlington. And when colleagues start accusing others of lying, which is in essence what was happening during the previous testimony, when despite your answers, you were being contradicted by Mr. Barrett.
He didn't even answer the question on the last one, whether he would provide his text messages from his service provider of all his devices. He didn't even answer it. He didn't say yes or no. He didn't say he would.
Do you think that it behooves us to behave in a more respectful way to one another?
I think at another time, in another place, with a different Conservative Party, a letter from the Ethics Commissioner clearing a member of Parliament, regardless of party, would have been enough to move on to committee business. And I don't know what's happened at this committee, that it is embroiled in partisan attacks and it can't get onto its own business. But it's a sad day when that's the case. And I can tell you, Pam, what people...
You don't know what's going on. Look in the streets, man. You're part of the government that is destroying Canada.
People say to me in the doors, they say, whether you're a member of Parliament, a member of the Legislative Assembly, or a councillor, or a school trustee, we elect you all to get along and to get stuff done for us. And games playing and name calling is not what we want to see. And I was on the doors last weekend and I heard it again. And so we can all hold ourselves to a higher standard. And I hope that we get there in this committee and across government.
The guy is such a liar. He's just lying through his teeth. Finally, I got one last clip here with Michael Barrett.
Minister, there's fraud and another Randy in a partner call at your company. What's the other Randy's last name?
So, Mr. Barrett, I do not know the name of that person, as I stated in my opening statements. And before at committee, I have no relationship, no operational role with GHI. I do not know that person in question. That person is not me.
What's your percentage stake in the company?
As has been disclosed in my disclosure to the Commission of Ethics, it is 50% stake in GHI that is held in my holding company.
Who are the partners at the company?
I do not know. It is Mr. Anderson, to my knowledge, is the only administrator of that company.
So,
I have no connection other than holding the shares to that company, Mr. Barrett.
Holding half of the shares.
Half of the shares are in my numbered company, as disclosed to the Commissioner of Ethics.
Do you know who holds the balance of the shares?
When I was involved, the last time I looked, it was Mr. Anderson.
So it's your understanding that you and Randy Boissonneau and Mr. Anderson are 50-50 partners in the company.
That is not correct. The shares are held by 2256956 Alberta Limited.
Who owns that numbered company?
Do.
Cute.
It's not cute, Mr. Barrett.
There's a question about this other Randy that's been reported. I know the contention, sir, is that you'd like for this to be something that the opposition has created, but this is reported in the media. And the media has uncovered a number of things, including text message exchanges with someone who's named by one of your partners as a partner, and they refer to Randy. And no last name of that Randy is available. The only Randy we know that's involved with the company is a minister in the Trudeau government. Who were the partners in that company in 2022?
I do not have that information, Mr. Barrett, but let me correct the record, Mr. Chair. To your question, I'll go through you, Mr. Chair. I am not the person in those texts. Mr. Anderson confirmed that it's not me. And I have a quote from the article that you're talking about, Mr. Barrett, which is from the Gowie Group, which says, "We have had no direct communication with Mr. Boissonneau at any point in our dealings with Stephen and the companies because I have had no active role in GHI since I was elected in 2021. Okay.
I'd really like to know if he switched his phone number in the last day or last week or last month.
Said publicly you didn't have anything to do with Stephen Anderson's business deals on behalf of your PPE company, Global Health Imports. Is that right?
I have had no active role in GHI since I was elected. And Mr. Barrett, you said yourself in your question this morning, Mr. Chair, may I answer?
Chair, I gave.
Hang on a sec.
So let's stop the clock. Okay.
Go ahead. I'm going to ask Mr. Barrett to continue.
Related to deals with the Gowie Group, you didn't have anything to do with the alleged wire fraud?
Mr. Barrett, I have been very clear that I've had no operational dealings with GHI since I was elected, and you, sir, indicated off the start that the Randy in the article was not me.
So that company alleges that you were involved. Are they telling the truth?
That company is not they're not correct because I've had no correspondence from them. And Mr. Anderson indicates very clearly in this morning's article that Randy is not me.
So we have text messages implicating you, sir, in this wire fraud, and it was carried out by your business partner to the tune of hundreds of thousands of dollars. And one of them reads, and I quote, "What is going on? I just received this from Randy." It's 1314 MST and 1514 EST. It literally takes 10 seconds to complete a transfer. I'm telling you, we are not allocating like this. Please reach out and see what the reason is now. You assured me this was done this morning, first thing, and allowed you to hold this stock today. It's midday and nothing is completed. I'm calling Felix to discuss. Be available for a partner call in 15 minutes, end quote. Sir, it seems like you're trying to conceal your involvement in a matter of fraud. Wow.
Mr. Chair, that is completely beyond the pale. It's completely false, and it's not true.
Now, Michael Barrett didn't get to the rest of these text messages, but says, I had to get signatures on things. It's noon now. It'll be done before cutoff in any case. It's fine. I have a call in 6 minutes. I have spoken with Shauna, Felix, and Randy again, and they're holding off for 30 minutes to see this with a verified tracking wire ID. They do not understand what is happening on your guys' end or what is the delay all day. We're following up again at 1440 on allocations, and we'll determine what we need to do as an organization. Thanks again for the call.
The article states very clearly that the Gowrie Group had no contact with me, which is true, and Mr. Anderson indicated that this is a different Randy. Mr. Barrett, your first name is Michael. Mr. Cooper's first name is Michael. Are we to confuse your two identities here at committee when you ask questions of me that are spurious in nature?
Well,
there's more than one
Mr.
Randy
Chair,
here.
I look forward, Mr. Chair, to Mr. Boissonnault being in opposition, having the opportunity to
He asked a very long question, Mr. Chair.
having the opportunity.
He asked a very long question. I have more
And I
seconds.
realize that, Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Go ahead.
So there
Mr.
are
Chair,
other,
I have time on the clock to answer that question.
There are other texts as well that outline how quickly you wanted this wire transfer to go through.
Mr. Barrett,
And
that is not me, and you cannot state that for the record. Mr. Chair.
Just
That
hang
is
on a
not true,
sec.
Mr. Chair.
I'm going to, look, I thought I made my expectation very clear.
Like the lack of respect for procedure at committee, we've seen the same lack of adherence to ethics rules. The minister talked about Canada's stringent ethics rules. His government, of course, including Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, has twice been found guilty of breaking those laws. And that's why we have questions about alleged law breaking by our witness, by the minister. The company has been trying to get the money back. The company that was defrauded of $500,000 from your business. Where did the money from the
Chair, it is
a chair?
Point of order, Chair.
He is not stating facts, and I
But
cannot
he
let
didn't finish
falsehoods
his
go, Mr.
question.
Chair.
You're going to have ample opportunity to
30 seconds was the length
I
of
know
my
you're
question.
protecting his clips, Mr. Chair,
no, I'm
but
not
he's stating
actually.
falsehoods.
I'm not actually, Mr. Boissonnault.
So we have a corrupt minister from a corrupt
That's
government.
not true.
That is simply beyond Mr. Chair. That is outrageous behavior by that
Mr.
member.
Barrett.
Can I have my time? I've asked for 2 points of order.
Wow, they're calling out, and the Liberals do not like this. It's crazy.
To go on your point of order, go ahead, Mr. Brock.
I have never, in my almost 3 years of public service, seen such disrespect by a minister for the procedures here at committee. He's constantly talking over the witness, and now he's talking over the chair. It is conduct unbecoming.
I've got your point of order, Mr. Brock.
Point of order.
Sorry, go ahead, Mr. Housefather.
Mr. Chair, referring to someone as corrupt is unparliamentary. I would ask that you order it be withdrawn. That is unparliamentary to refer to someone as corrupt.
Yeah, Mr. Barrett, I am going to ask that you withdraw those comments, please.
Alleged corruption by a corrupt government.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Barrett. You have had.
That was not a withdrawal, Mr. Chair. It was a doubling down.
We've got a point of order from Mr. Villemure. Go ahead, Mr. Villemure. Allez, s'il vous plaît.
Minister, will you provide this committee a copy of the letter notifying in writing that you wanted to be removed as a director from this company? And further, will you provide any financial records related to this company? Will you provide them to the committee?
Mr. Chair, there is a well-established practice done by the Ethics Commissioner that every single member around this table has to go through. The standards are higher for parliamentary secretaries and ministers. I have followed that process to the letter. All of those documents were provided to the Commissioner of Ethics. And Mr. Chair, the Ethics Commissioner sent me and Mr. Barrett a letter indicating that there was no need. He took the decision that there's no need to look into my business affairs, no need to evaluate them. I have followed the letter to the rule to the letter.
Thank you, Mr. Boissonnault.
This whole thing is wild. One thing to really note here is in the middle, when Randy starts getting pushed back, his rate of speech increases, his pitch increases, his body language. Look at his hands are clasped like tight, like he's nervous. This guy just reeks of a guilty man. Not to mention he's talking over not only Michael Barrett, but over the chair as well. I don't think this one's going away anytime soon. So let's jump over to my group and see what memes we have today. Randy Balsanout, other Randy. This is so dumb. Like, what is Randy trying to, like, come on, man. There's nothing to say about this. It's just so stupid. The liberal lies have hit a new low. Waiting for a straight Pride Month. Yeah. Best ad for homeschooling I've ever seen. Why do you need a month to validate your sexual preference? Exactly. It's so stupid. You should be about being someone, not what your hedonistic barbarian desires are. We all have them. It doesn't warrant having a flag. Period. Liberal. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think here. Obviously corrupt, like absolutely corrupt. There's another Randy. I swear there's another Randy. Yeah, right. Thanks for watching the end of the video here. Be sure to subscribe. We're going to keep fighting for freedom. We're going to get these fools out of power. I'll see you guys in the next one.